It is a very pleasant evening to have you all for our Neyveli Local Center program. I think we have got around 15 people waiting for the program. So I think we can start the meeting. Again, formally, I am extending a warm welcome to all the participants and special welcome to our chief guest of the evening, Mr. Ravichandra Babu, who is the director of NPTI at Shivapur, and we will be introducing himself. And before that, I would like to just throw some more light on the Engineering Day. World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development is celebrated regularly on 4th March since 2020 only, because this is the second year. Last year only it has started as a UNESCO International Day of Celebration of Engineers and Engineering. Recording. Okay. Now, the 40th General Conference of UNESCO has adopted the resolution to proclaim this 4th March of every year World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development in November 2019, based on the proposal of the World Federation of Engineering Organization, WFEO. This is an opportunity to celebrate the important contributors of engineers and engineering to sustainable development and modern life. This World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development, it is not a World Engineering Day alone. The phrase is World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development. The theme itself, it has been attached to the World Engineering Day. Normally, Others Day, Women's Day, Men's Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day, everything will have a day. It will end with a day. But this World Engineering Day, to stress the theme of that particular day, every year, the same theme will be there, the sustainable development. This is an international day with the coordinated celebrations across the world. It is an opportunity to increase the profile of engineering. The day is also an opportunity to engage with the government and the industry to address the need of the engineering capacity and the quality of engineers around the world, and develop strategic frameworks and best practices for the implementation of engineering solutions for sustainable development. The celebration of World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development is also about promoting engineering as a career and how it is an opportunity to change the world for better future. There is a great deal to be done, especially to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals in developing countries, to ensure that everyone has to access the basic rights, clean water, sanitation, reliable energy, and other basic human needs. In all countries, there is also a great deal to be done to deal with the impacts of climate change, environmental issues, our growing cities, and the challenges of new technologies, including artificial intelligence. There are many opportunities in the day that can be used to engage with young people and say, if you want to change the world for better, become an engineer. And every year the theme will be slightly different. This year the theme given by WFEO is Engineering for a Healthy Planet, celebrating the UNESCO Engineering Report. And when we have seen this topic theme, we have immediately our committee members and our office bearers mind has stuck with one person's name, Mr. Ravichandra Babu, who was previously working in Neyveli in the NPTI, and he is a very well-known person here. Almost all the engineers in Neyveli knows him very well because of his thermal relation with the NLC. Because almost all the thermal power plant people would have attended one of his classes. It is more important. He is one of the very good faculty. And before inviting Mr. Ravichandra Babu for this formal theme address, just let me have introduction of him. Dr. M. Ravichandra Babu has finished his electrical and electronics engineering in BE and power system in the ME. He has PGDC also, and he has got the PhD in power systems. Now he is the director of National Power Training Institute, NPTA, under the Ministry of Power, Government of India, Shivapuri in Madhya Pradesh. And already we have deliberated on BME and PGDCA energy. He is also the energy auditor, certified energy auditor, energy manager. The exam was conducted by Bureau of Energy Efficiency, BEE, Ministry of Power, Government of India in 2010. And as we already told, he is taken his PhD in power system from Anna University during 2008 to 2014. From 1897 to 23/1/2006, he has worked as assistant director in National Power Training Institute, NPTA, in Neyveli Township. And from 23/1/2006 to 28/7/2017, he has worked as a deputy director in National Power Training Institute, Neyveli again. And from 17 to 19, he has transferred to West Bengal as a deputy director in the same NPTA Eastern Region, Durgapur. And that time we missed him very much. From that time, since then we are missing him. He was an active member of our TNAC committee also. And from then onwards, he is the director. From 30/12/2019 till date, he is the director at Shivapuri NPTA, Madhya Pradesh. His job, as we know, almost his career is overall career is in NPTA. His natural job is training the power sector personnel in the area of generation, transmission, and distribution, energy conservation, and energy audit. He has coordinated and delivered a lecture in the various in-house and on-site training programs and organized so many workshops and seminars. He has received Corporate Excellence Award for the Best Assistant Director from NPTA. He has received appreciation letter from Director General for the training manual preparation, prepared the training manual on energy audit and DSM of power utilities, motor maintenance, switchgear, and transformer maintenance for NPTA publications. He has achieved some special moments also. He has organized and delivered a lecture in the seminar on capacity building on power plant personnel under a Indo-German program, Government of India, Ministry of Power, in the topic of India's best practices for efficient O&M of thermal power plants for the senior, middle level, and junior power plant personnel, and also energy managers and auditors in various locations of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. He has published papers in Scopus indexed journals, both national and internationals. He has presented papers in the seminars and workshop. Ex-member in Board of Studies in EEE Department of Annamalai University, Power Engineering Department, GMIRT AP. He is, as I told earlier, ex-committee member in Tamil Nadu State Center in Institute of Engineers India, certified trainer in solar power generation. Admit Panda. And with this brief introduction, now may I request our Dr. M. Ravichandra Babu to deliver the theme address of today. Please, sir.
Sir, thank you, sir. Respected Engineer N.M. Rao, Chairman, Institute of Engineers, Neyveli Local Chapter, and Engineer A. Shekhar, Honorary Secretary, Neyveli Local Chapter, Institute of Engineers. First of all, I thanks to the Chairman and also Honorary Secretary for giving opportunity to deliver special talk on World Engineers Day for the Sustainable Development. At the same time, I am welcoming you all the participants for the celebration of World Engineers Day 2021. This year theme, Engineering for a Healthy Planet, celebrating the UNESCO Engineering Report. So we'll focus on celebrating the launch of second UNESCO Engineering Report. So as we all know that for the last 12 months, we are all battling the impact of coronavirus pandemic. Some of us have difficulties in employments and lose their jobs. Some of us have been ill of coronavirus. Some of us have lost loved one. For those, I'd have my heartfelt condolence to all. We certainly hope we all of us out of this difficult situation as soon as possible. During last 12 months, engineering have been at forefront in battling of virus. Sir, my voice is clear. Hello.
Yes, it is clear like crystal. You can go ahead, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Engineering have developed the innovation using artificial intelligence and data analytics in the research of vaccine to combat virus. And engineers manufactured advanced technique for rapid manufacturers of masks and protective equipments, especially to protect the frontline health workers. So engineering developed innovation for manufacturing of vaccine in large quantity to vaccinate the entire world. So this is unprecedented and never happened before. And engineering will be the developing cold chain refrigeration for transportation, distribution, and logistic system so that the vaccine reaches every person in every corner of the world. So in 2021, engineer have been at the forefront in the ensuring safety of ourselves and to lead modern world like never before. So the main aim of celebration of World Engineers Day, as mentioned by Secretary, as an opportunity to celebrate the important contribution of engineers and engineering to sustainable development and to lead the modern life. At the same time, promoting engineering as a career and how it is opportunity to change the world for better. There is a great deal to be done, especially to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal in countries where the support is most needed and to ensure that everyone has access to clean water, health, sanitation, and reliable and continual power and other basic necessity of the human life. In all countries, there is a great deal to be done, deal with the impact of climate change, environmental issue, our growing cities, and the challenges of new technology, including artificial intelligence. There are many opportunities and the days can be used to engage with the young people and say, if you want to change the world for the better, should be become an engineer. So what is the role of UNESCO? So UNESCO, United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization. So UNESCO work to assist countries to invest in science, technology, and innovation, to develop national science policies, to reform the science system, and to build capacity to monitor and evaluate the performance through STI indicator, that is a science, technology, innovation, and statistics, taking into account the broad range of the country and focusing the sustainable development goal, that is a specific context. The World Federation of Engineering Organization, together with its members and partners, will celebrate the World Engineers Day on 4th March including series of webinars, poster design competition, video collection from young engineers. So the World Engineers Day for Sustainable Development was proclaimed by UNESCO at its 40th General Conference in the year 2019. It is celebrated worldwide on 4th March of each year since 2020. The day offers an opportunity to highlight the engineers and engineering achievement in our modern world and improve public understanding of how engineering and technology are central to modern life and for sustainable development. So what is the main difference between scientists and engineers? The engineers are designer, problem solver. How can I make this happen? Improve our world. At the same time, the scientists, investigators, observers, why does this happen? Explain our world. So in a simple way, the scientists discover the world that exists, but engineers create the world that never was. So if you see the science and technology, so the scientists investigate the nature of the world, scientific knowledge, what scientific have learned about the nature of the world, but technology at the same time, technology, the product and the process created by engineers. So based upon the technology and the scientific knowledge, it will be giving the society what is the need-based, value-based, environmental friendly. At the same time, the cost also it will be lesser. So engineering, it is a theory of science. Technology, it is a tool. The product, finally, it is reaches to the society and nature. So we are getting the resource material from the nature and feeding, let us say for power generation, getting the coal, and finally the power is reaching to the public or society. So this is the waves of innovation. So now that is a first wave, second wave, third, fourth, and fifth. So finally, it is a sixth wave. The sixth wave, it is a sustainability, radical resources, productivity, the whole system design, it is a design and modeling, green chemistry, industrial ecology, renewal of energy, green and nanotechnology. So if you give the first wave, so the innovation is only the iron, water, power, mechanization, and textile and commerce. So the waves are increasing in the trend, so that our development, innovation, our development also taking place to lead the modern life. So what is the sustainable development? The definition of sustainable development. So sustainable development is the idea that human society must live and meet the demand without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. The official definition of sustainable development was developed for the first time in the Brundtland Report in the year 1987. The principle of sustainability are the foundation. What is this concept represent? Therefore, the sustainability is made up of three pillars. The first one is economy. The second one is society. The last one is planet, that environment. So these principles are also informally used as a profit, people, and planet. So what is the goal of sustainable development? The goal of sustainable development to meet the need of the today without compromising the need of tomorrow. This means we cannot continue using current level of resources, as this will not leave enough for future generation. So stabilization and reducing carbon emission is a key to living within the environmental limit. So the sustainable development goal, also known as global goal, were adopted by all United Nations member of state in the year 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all the people enjoy peace and prosperity by the year 2030. So what is the achievement for the benefit of sustainable development? So more number of production, naturally the cost will reduces. At the same time, improve the health, waste minimization, even better and efficient use of material, environmental protection, noise avoidance, and we can lead the better quality of the life in all aspects. So these are the global goal for sustainable development. So 17 parameters. So first one is no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, and quality of education to all the people, and gender, male and female equality, and clean water and sanitation, health care and sanitation, and affordable and clean energy, green energy, affordable rate. So everyone has to use the electricity. So as I mentioned, even March 2019, we are achieved 100% electrification. Our country is achieved 100% electrification. Even decent work and economic growth, everyone has to get the employment. So naturally, our GDP will be increasing. Industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduce the inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, and responsible consumption and production. So it has to match production and consumption. Almost it has to balance. Climate action, life below water, life on the land, peace and justice, strong institution. If required, we can go for adopting the foreign technology that is a partnership for the goal. So these are the sustainable development for global goal. So as you know, the coal reserve by as a globally. So if you talk about the coal reserve by global, the first is US, that is a 24.2%. The second, it is a 15.5 Russia, third Australia, China 13.4, and we are in the fifth position, that is a 9.4%. India. The rest of the world, it is a 23.4%. And the world primary energy consumption, if you talk about, so the first case, it is coming 34.2% oil. Then it comes to the gas, 23.4%. Then it comes to the coal, 27.6%. And 4.4%, it is a nuclear, and 6.8% in the hydro, and other renewable, it is a 3.6%. So this is the electrical consumption pattern, how the growth. So the first sector, it is the industry sector, then it is a domestic, then agriculture, and the next one, it is a commercials, buildings. The next one is traction and railways and others. And the growth in the installed capacity, if you talk about the growth in the installed capacity, it is a total installed capacity as of today, it is 3,77,260.67 megawatt. So global primary energy sources, as I mentioned earlier slide, the coal is a major. The next one, it is Russia, China. Fourth, it is fifth place is, it is India. So whatever the coal reserve, it will be lasting for another 200 years is globally. And oil also same thing, Saudi Arabia, it is the highest, 23%. It is 45 years, it will be lasting for next 45 years. And the gas, it is a Russia Federation. It is also about 65 years. The gas, Russia is a major share. It is 27%. So the energy sector, how it is growing, taking place, even from independence to at present, how the growth, it is taking place, sustainable development taking place. So for example, at the time of independence, it is a 1947. Our total installed capacity only 1,370 megawatt. So as per the latest CEA, Central Electricity Authority report, that is the Ministry of Power, as on 31st January 2021, our total installed capacity, as I mentioned, it is a 3,77,261 megawatt. Out of which the nuclear, it is dominating 6,780 megawatt. It is a 1.8% of the total share. And thermal, it consists of coal, lignite, and gas and diesel. It is around 2,31,871 megawatt. It is a 61.5% share. Then it is a hydro. It is It is a 46,059 megawatt. It is a 12.2%. And nuclear, as I mentioned earlier, finally it is a renewable energy sources. It is a 92,550.74 megawatt. It is a 24.5% of the share. So once I am talking about the renewable energy sources, it includes even less than 25 megawatt. It is a small hydro projects, biomass gasifier, biomass power, even urban industrial waste power, and solar and wind power. But with respect to the sector-wise detail, the state sector, it is a dominating, because each state owned by the power plant. Through it is a 27.5% share. The total installed capacity is a 1,03,028 megawatt. The central sector also, it is a 94,737 megawatt. It is a 25.1% share. And a lot of IPPs are coming up. Even many IPPs are there having the power plant private sector. Through that, 1,78,895 megawatt. It is a 47.42. So the couple of 10 years, let us say a couple of years back, we can say around 10 years before, it was totally, the scenario was changed. Central is a dominating, next is state, then is a private. Now if you see the share, the many private players, especially even ultra mega power project, 500 megawatt and above and all, that is many private players are come up. So that's why the private sectors, independent power producers, it increased 47.42%. And another also, we have achieved largest solar park in the world. You can say it is a Karnataka. So it is a Tumkura district. India is the largest solar park. It is almost 2,000 megawatt. And it is a 20 square miles. It is a 12,800 acres. And which is enough to feed the power almost 7 lakhs households. The total investment in the project is about 2.1 billion. So this is the largest solar power plant in the world, first 10 largest. So previously it was China. In the March 2020, we have overtaken. So then another project, 8th place, Kamudi in Tamil Nadu, that is solar power, that is 648, Ramanathapuram district, it is a 648 megawatt. So another important thing, so it is a per capita energy consumption. It is a plays very important role. That is a total installed capacity, ratio of total installed capacity and population. So India at present, as per the latest report, it is a 1,208 unit per year. So if we compare the developed countries, let us say for example, America, India per capita energy consumption is a 1/10 of the America, and Germany 1/6 of the Germany per capita consumption. Even China also almost 3 times more than India power consumption. So the country they are declaring is a developing or developed country. The per capita energy consumption is one of the index. So in a person, every person, they have to get the energy or electricity. So in another way, we can call this per person per annum, how much energy can be consumed. That is a per capita energy consumption. So this is also, for example, even how the development taken place from initial stage to even at present. So at present, 1,208 unit per year. So another major concern, it is a climate change. That is a share of CO2 emission. So now CO2 emission, we are the 4th place. So CO2, also called as a greenhouse gas, has become the major concern as the climatic change become a bigger issue. China is the world's largest contribution of country contributing to CO2 emission and steadily rising over the years, now producing 10.06 billion metric tons of CO2. This is the biggest culprit of CO2 emission for this country is electricity because of burning the coal. The second largest emitter CO2 with approximately 5.41 metric tons of carbon dioxide. That is the US. That India, it is a 2.65 billion metric tons of CO2 generating. Russia, 1.71 billion metric tons. Japan is the 5th place. So the government has taken a lot of effort, especially 367 million LED bulb. It is added and it reduces 38 million tons of CO2 reduction per year. So this will be, it is a drastically reduction in the CO2 by incorporating LED bulb. So carbon dioxide and expected temperature rise. So here I have shown the graph probability versus temperature rise. So for example, the CO2 emission 450 ppm parts per million, that is a 2-degree rises. And if it is 650, 4 degree and 1006 degree, so the temperature rising, it leads to even global warming. So these are the main concern climate change. So many technology innovation adopting so that the ppm level, even SPM level, it is drastically comes down. Next, another important thing is even at the same time, the losses, the transmission and the distribution loss also, earlier couple of 4 or 5 years before, it was 30%, drastically reduced. Transmission, it is at 21%. T&D losses, other name, it is aggregated technical and commercial losses. So normally 1% reduction of losses, it is exactly equivalent to 1,470 megawatt installation capacity. For thermal per megawatt installation capacity, it is roughly 4 to 8 crores. So by controlling 1% of average overall losses, it is drastically reduced, saving the huge money. Like for example, auxiliary power consumption, average auxiliary power consumption 1%, it is equivalent to fresh capacity addition of 120 megawatt. So here I have mentioned that worldwide T&D losses. So developed countries, if you see, it vary between 4 to 15%. So we have taken as a benchmark US 7%. So in India, T&D losses have been over 20% of generation, which is more than twice the world average. The ideal level of T&D losses ranging from 6 to 8%. According to the report, latest report, that is October 2020, the T&D loss declined 20.66% in the year 18-19. Even 17-9, slightly it is higher. So another also we have, the government has taken the action for energy to all. The system by using step up transformer for EHV transmission system, especially in the generation side, minimum how much losses you have to maintain, 0.5 to 1%. And the transformation to intermediate voltage level, so step down to sub transmission voltage level, it is a 1.5 to 3%, especially for example, 400 kV or 220 kV. Then sub transmission system step down to distribution voltage level 220 kV bar 110 kV, 110 bar 11 kV. It is a 2% and 4.5%. And the distribution line service connection, especially the 11 kV bar 0.4 kV, it is 3 to 7% maximum. So here, this government has given the direction to minimize the losses, minimum 7% US as a benchmark, the 15.5, it is a maximum level. In every stage, how much you have to maintain the losses, also given the direction. Another, that engineering is various engineering fields are there. So many development takes place in all the engineering field. For example, in the civil engineering, stone arch construction, even complicated design, civil engineering construction. That is a vast development in all the engineering discipline. So for example, medical use of engineering, even offshore wind turbine having enormous potential in many parts of the world, even more than 25 km per hour. It is an enormous speed. So naturally, it is giving the good potential. Even India also having the good potential wind power. So even Airbus, the world's largest passenger aircraft, the passenger capacity 525 to 853. Even cancer treatment, engineering in many advancement, radiotherapy, and even fastest train, Shanghai Airport, Maglev train is the world fastest 430 km per hour, our engineering commercial train. And even India communication satellite, it is a PSLV C50, CMS-01. So a lot of development, innovation in the engineering field, even computer tomography, scanning. So to achieve the sustainable engineering, the 6 pillars plays very important role as an individual, because sustainable development goal can be achieved only collective manner. So individual has to think nation goods. So nation has to think global goods, so that we can achieve the continuous sustainable development. So the 6 pillars of engineering plays very important role. One is the individual, institutional, technical, decision-making, business, resources, and suppliers. So here also, for example, you can see the picture, research and development in the engineering, main driver for innovation. Engineering needs more women and youngsters. And the small scale wind turbine, the Philippines provide the power. At the same time, job to all the people, required people. So these are the individual, institutional, technical, it's a common engineering standard, decision making. These are the things are very much required to maintain the sustainable development of the goal. Even not only that, even education, training also plays very important role. So for example, initially we are starting with stage 1, education phase leading the graduation, accredited qualification. The stage 2, graduation involving the formation of engineering practitioners, even via training and experience. After being successfully assessed, the practitioner declared capable of independent practice. the foundation of the career in engineering. The third road, training, experience, possibility of additional or advanced coursework. The fourth one is knowledge transfer as well as mentoring. So the engineering professional attribute, technical, personal, and professional commitment and managerial ability. So what are the driving force for the proposal of World Engineering Day? In September 2015, the United Nations General Assembly adopted its resolution 70/1 announcing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and its 17 Sustainable Development Goal, as I mentioned earlier, which take an integrated approach to future development, combining process in economic prosperity, social inclusion, and environmental sustainability. So engineers and engineering are the critical for achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. And engineers and engineering projects are essential for a peaceful world, as it is an engineer who will develop and implement the technology and system that will progress the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal as they related to water, energy, environmental, sustainable cities, natural disaster resilience, and other area. This is the essential inclusion and to address the unequal access to these technologies, which results in income inequalities. And engineers are essential for resiliences to climate change and to design and develop resiliences infrastructure that will withstand the increasing weather-related events, floods, cyclone, and bushfire, especially in developing countries that are the most exposed to this risk. And engineers are essential for sustainable economic development as they are needed to support the growth and development of the essential infrastructure such as roads, railways, bridge, dams, waste management, water supply, and sanitation, energy, digital network, both developed and developing countries. So engineers are needed to develop inclusion technologies and innovation that will benefit to the ultimately to reaches to the society, people, and the earth planet for the greater prosperity and a better quality of the life and leave no one behind, especially to ensure the equal access to the technology for women in rural areas. So here at the UNESCO, so many issues and challenges. So they mainly focused that 5 areas. It will covers all for sustainable development. One is the water and sanitation. Next one is energy independence. Then healthcare to promote the agriculture productivity and biodiversity and to protect the environment, ecosystem management. So the World Engineers Day for Sustainable Development is an opportunity to discuss this issue, engage the wider community in the contribution of engineering at the work that need to be done to achieve the United Nations 2030 agenda so that no one is left behind. As I mentioned earlier, sustainable will be achieved only collective effort when every individual think about the national goods and every nation thinks about the global goods, then only sustainable will become reality. And I will give the small presentation, then we will have a discussion about the queries about our institute. So National Power Training Institute, it is a Ministry of Power Government of India and ISO 9001 14001 organization under Ministry of Power Government of India. It is a national affairs body for training and human resource development in power sector with its corporate office at Faridabad. NPTA had been providing a dedicated service for more than 5 decades. And NPTA has trained more than 320,000 professionals, power professionals in the regular program over the last decade, 5 decades. NPTA is the world leading integrated power institute, and NPTA operate on all India basis through its 11 institutes in different power zone of the country. About NPTI Shubri, the infrastructure, it is a totally, we have 8 classroom, that is a 40 seating capacity. It can be accommodated up to 50. All are fully equipped with the audio visual. And also each classroom is equipped with the air conditioner with the latest technology, like a multi-touch screen podium, projector, and a smart screen audio system, smart TV for online section with Wi-Fi facilities. And we are having state-of-art multifunctional simulator. This is a multifunctional simulator with the configuration of 210 megawatt thermal, 500 megawatt thermal, and 800 megawatt. It is a ultra mega power project, and hydro, it is a 250 megawatt and smart grid. So 210 megawatt, it is a NTPC, 500 megawatt Korba, and 800 megawatt Kudgi thermal power plant. It is a replica. All the simulators, it is a replica. And 250 megawatt, it is a Sutlej. And the smart grid, that western region of transmission system, it is a completely western region. And the distribution system, it is a Raipur 31 substation. So this is a multifunctional simulators. It is a Ovation software. It is a LVS screen. Smart grid is a simulator training. In addition to that, we are also having the lab facility emulators like a wind power, solar power, HVDC system, high voltage DC transmission system, smart grid, high voltage AC transmission system. And so these are our library facilities. And we are having the executive hostel, 34 room, each room 2 bedded, 68 capacity. Boys hostel non-AC facility also available, 36 room, 72 capacity. Girls hostel, it is a 12 room, 24 capacity. So this is a boys hostel, and it is a one side we have completely executive type. So once we are talking about the executive type, it is a IP phone and a TV, fridge, AC, geyser, all facilities are available. And it is a furnished dining. All the rooms are executive types are completely furnished. So it is a guest house. It is a VIP 2 suite room and non-VIP rooms 2. Totally 4 rooms are there. It is a girls hostel, 24-seater capacity. It is auditorium. It is a centralized air conditioners for conducting the conference, seminars, workshops and all. In auditorium, we are having separate boardroom, auditorium, conference halls. And in the auditorium, we are having 20 kilowatt solar rooftop system with grid connected mode for demonstration, and also excess power will be connected to the grid. So these are the residential quarters. And we are having dedicated 33 kV bar 11 kV substation. The capacity is 500 kVA. In addition to that, DG sets are available. And we conducted many programs. So up to March, we conducted January to March. The institute was start functioning from January 20. The campus is located at National Highways NH3 AB Road, just about 100 kilometers from Gwalior towards the Indore Highway, and situated before 18 kilometers from Sobri railway station and bus stand. NPTI's campus spread over the picture landscape of about 15 acres It is the Shivpuri, it is a tourism place, the oldest district in India. It was the district started 1935. It is a tourist hub, even Madhavrao National Park. And in addition to that, a memorial park, even palace, waterfalls, many surrounding many tourist places are available. In addition to that, Shivpuri to Gwalior hardly 100 kilometers, Jhansi 100 kilometers. So the completely we are having surrounded by hydro, thermal, and also nearby around 3 kilometers we are having 250 megawatt solar Greenco. So we conducted many programs. First January to March we conducted 3 only offline training program. Then afterwards we conducted many online training program. So far we conducted around 16 programs. 16 now, that 17th program is running, out of which that 4 offline training program already started, already completed, that is already completed. These are the, because this NPTI Shivpuri, we are giving training in the area of generation, transmission, distribution, and energy audit. In addition to that, we are emerging area like a solar, wind, and smart grid, e-mobility, and e-vehicle and voltage infrastructure, and all we are conducting. In addition to that, we are having NPT's Empanel Institute for the 2 years of training for THD personals. And we are having MOE with the MITS, Madhavrao Institute of Technology, for training the people in the area of power sector. And we also conducted Atal training program. So some of the VIPs visited, and district collectors, and Dean of Medical College. In addition to that, we conducted the safety awareness program for THD executives, inaugurated by our Director General, Sri Rajpal, and is a senior advisor, Government of India, Ministry of Power. And we also conducted some Atal programs sponsored by AICT. So collector visited our campus, adjacent college, NTPC people visited our campus, even ISO, our institute is ISO audit conducted by KBS company, certification company, celebration of Republic Day. And we also conducted the training program for hydropower, for simulators training program. And it is a panel discussion, question and answers. So now we are conducting the remote sensing and GIS application reference to hydro project. Function. And these are the client participation training attended at NPTI Shivpuri last 1 year, because the institute was start functioning from January 2020. THDC, Satellite Company, KSEB, NLC, National Fertilizer Company, Orissa Hydropower, NHPC. And apart from that, some of the engineering college also participated. So this is a overall view. Any questions you can ask, because the time is up to 8:30. That's why I rush up. So any doubt, any queries, please, you can ask.
Thank you, Mr. Ravichandra Babu, Dr. Ravichandra Babu, rather.
Please.
I think one Mr. Balakrishnan has raised one question to chat.
Okay, sir. Please, sir.
What is that question? Balakrishnan is available. Are you available? So just I can read it. I think he wants to know about the centralization and the privatization of power sector, prospective or retrospective, and he wants to know about cyber threats in power distribution sector also.
Sir, actually now Even first question I will answer: cyber threat in power sector,
Mm.
power distribution sector. Now, actually, it is a smart grid. So almost in India, around 14 to 15 district completely it is a smart grid they have implemented. So near future also slowly they will be implementing in all the sectors. So naturally, once the cyber threat will be there, automatically it will be healing. It will be protecting the software and the hardware system. It will take care of. It is a complete system. So now advanced softwares are available. So it will take care of the cyber threat. So as such, already even many developed countries, also even for example USA and other countries and all, already smart grid, many things are available. They completely taken care by the hardware and the software of the system. But now it is India, it is a slowly implementation stage. So naturally it will over a period of time, it will be completely healed and taken care of with the software and the hardware. With respect to centralization and privatization of power sector, now actually, as I mentioned, 3,77,000 of total installed capacity. As earlier, let us say, for example, around 10 years before, the central sector, power sector only, it is a dominating the total installed capacity. The next one is the state sector. Then private, it is the last. Now, many private players has come. So now if you talk about a thermal and all, it is a completely almost, as I mentioned the slides, it is a private sector. Most of the thermal, it is almost the share of private sector is drastically, it is a increasing trend. So thermal, it is a, for example, but any state or in our country, based upon thermal or even coal base only, they are deciding the base load station based upon the thermal only. So privatization, it will be in the process to streamline the things, but it is in all the sector, it is not possible. But the government is taking care of for welfare of the people and for development of the country.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And it seems Murugesh Pandian sir wants to ask some questions, sir. Sir, you can briefly ask, sir.
Okay, sir. Sir, இந்த செஷன் வந்து ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது.
ஓகே சார், சொல்லுங்க.
இதுல வந்து ஒரு 2-3 क्वेश्चन இருக்கு.
சொல்லுங்க சார், சொல்லுங்க.
இந்தியால வந்து 21% டிரான்ஸ்மிஷன் லாஸ்ன்றீங்க.
ஆமா சார்.
இது 4% லாஸ்ன்றீங்க. ஜப்பான் என்ன எக்ஸ்ட்ரா பண்ணிருக்காங்க நம்மளை விட, அது ஒரு பாயிண்ட். அடுத்து செகண்ட் பாயிண்ட் வந்து இந்த லாஸ் வந்து நம்ம வந்து பவர் செக்டர்ல இருக்கா அல்லது இது பேர் என்ன கவர்மெண்ட் செக்டர்ல இருக்கா அல்லது பிரைவேட் செக்டர்ல இருக்கா? மோர் லாஸ். ஸ்மார்ட் சிட்டின்னு ரொம்ப இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. 100 சிட்டிஸ் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணிருக்காங்க. சிட்டிஸ்ல வந்து இந்த இது இருக்குல்ல, இந்த டிரான்ஸ்மிஷன் லாஸை குறைக்கிறதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணிருக்காங்க? 4வது இந்த பட்ஜெட்ல வந்து இந்த கரண்ட் பட்ஜெட்ல எவ்வளவு அலாட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க அந்த டிரான்ஸ்மிஷன் லாஸ் குறைக்கிறதுக்கு? 4 क्वेश्चन.
Okay sir, very good question sir. First question sir, but actually normally after independence, after 1950 onwards, every year our country development takes place through 5-year plan. And every 5 year first now planning commission close பண்ணிட்டாங்க. But the first they will be declaring this 5 year for improve, this 5 year meant for remove the poverty, employment. So irrespective of the plan, the 20% of the total amount, first they will be sending for they will be giving money to the defense sector, science and technology and all. So 20% of the total money they will be giving to the improvement in the power sector, generation, transmission and distribution. Then next important thing, I mentioned the total 21% of the losses. Even நீங்க ஒரு 5 years 6 years முன்னாடி பாத்தீங்கன்னா 30%. Out of 21ல 4% it is a transmission losses, 3 to 4%. Remaining வந்து 4% it is a commercial losses, it is unmetered. Now அதனால தான் இப்போ வந்து 100% metering சொல்லி enforce பண்ணிருக்காங்க. All the places 100% metering, almost around 80 to 90% வந்து implement பண்ணிட்டாங்க 100% metering concept. But remaining 12% of the losses, it is only the distribution is the main purpose, culprit. Now even distribution loss only they can take the theft and all. Now but theft and all they are putting the stringent condition. இப்போ நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா LT/HT ரேஷியோ வந்து 1:2 வரைக்கும் நீங்க மெயின்டைன் பண்ணீங்கன்னா லாஸ் வந்து ரொம்ப கம்மியா இருக்கும். இப்போ 1:2 அப்படின்னா இப்போ வந்து LT/HT ரேஷியோ, இப்போ 1 கிலோமீட்டர் வந்து ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஒரு LT லைன், 2 கிலோமீட்டர் வந்து HT லைன். இப்போ நம்மளோட ரேஷியோ எல்லாமே LT/HT ரேஷியோ வந்து 1:20%, 50% இருக்கு. அதுக்கு என்ன ரீசன் அப்படின்னா, இப்போ நம்ம வந்து டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூஷன் லைன் வந்து நிறைய லென்த் போயிட்டு இருக்கு, ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா ஈஸிலி தே வில் பி டேக்கிங் த டேப்பிங்ஸ் அண்ட் ஆல். அதனால தான் இப்போ சம் ஆஃப் த ஸ்டேட் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, LVDS அண்ட் HVDS சிஸ்டம் சொல்லி இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் பண்ணாங்க. லோ வோல்டேஜ் டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூஷன் சிஸ்டம், ஹை வோல்டேஜ் டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூஷன் சிஸ்டம். இப்போ நீங்க வந்து 1 கிலோமீட்டருக்கு சப்ளை போறதெல்லாம் இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூஷன் டிரான்ஸ்ஃபார்மர்ல இருந்து ஒரு 1/2 கிலோமீட்டர் 1 கிலோமீட்டருக்கு சப்ளை போகுது. இப்போ ஈஸியா வந்து ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா அவங்க தே வில் டேக் த டேப்பிங்ஸ். இப்போ இதே வந்து ஒரு LVS HVDS சிஸ்டம் இருக்குன்னா, இப்போ ஒரு டிரான்ஸ்ஃபார்மர் இருக்கு, அதுல வந்து we can take the 10 connections. Only on the surrounding place they will be giving the connection. அடுத்த next transformer. So naturally length it will be lesser, even I squared R loss will be lesser. Even AP எல்லாம் ஆல்ரெடி ஆந்திர பிரதேஷ் எல்லாம் ஆல்ரெடி இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க LVDS HVDS சிஸ்டம். இல்ல இப்ப ஆன்சர் ஓகேவா சார்?
ஓகே குட், வெரி குட் ஆன்சர் சார், குட்.
வேற ஃபர்தர் ஏதாவது கிளாரிஃபிகேஷன் இருக்கா சார்?
Yeah sir, you can introduce yourself and ask sir.
Sir, I am from Murali Krishnan, Viluppuram IVS department சார்.
சொல்லுங்க சார்.
சார் ஒரு சின்ன டவுட் சார், கேட்கலாமா சார்?
கண்டிப்பா, எனி டவுட் கேளுங்க சார்.
சார் சார் இப்போ ரோடு கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்றேன் சார். அதுல வந்து ஒரு சர்க்குலர் ரோலர் பைப் மாதிரி ஒரு பிட்வீன் ஈக்குவல் இன்டர்வல்ஸ்ல வச்சு பஸ்ஸஸ், லாரிஸ், கார்ஸ் மூவ் பண்ணும்போது எலக்ட்ரிசிட்டி ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ண முடியுமா சார்?
இல்ல அது மாதிரிலாம் பண்ண முடியாது சார். இல்ல அது
ஓகே,
இப்போ மூவ் பண்றதெல்லாம் நீங்க அது வந்து உங்களுக்கு கான்ஸ்டன்டா, இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நீங்க கேட்கறது வந்து லைட்னிங் வருது, அதுல இருந்து டேப் பண்ணி பண்ணலாம், அதெல்லாம் வந்து இன்னும் R&D தான் போயிட்டு இருக்கு.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே.
அது ஒரு ஃபிராக்ஷன் ஆஃப் செகண்ட் தான், அதுல வந்து இட் இஸ் நாட்.
இல்ல நம்பர் ஆஃப் NHல வந்து நம்பர் ஆஃப் வெஹிக்கிள்ஸ் வந்து அதிகமா இருக்கும். சப்போஸ் அந்த வீல் வந்து சுத்த நம்ம டிரான்ஸ்ஃபார்மருக்கு கனெக்ஷன் கொடுத்து எலக்ட்ரிசிட்டி ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ண முடியுமா?
வந்து மேட் அப் ஆஃப் டயர் சார்.
ஆமா சார். நம்ம எதுவும் பிளாஸ்டிக்ல இல்ல இதெல்லாம்
இல்ல
சொல்லுங்க சார், சொல்லுங்க சார்.
இது வந்து மேட் அப் இன்சுலேஷன்.
ஓகே சார்.
இப்ப அதுல வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து அந்த அளவு எஃபெக்ட் இருக்காது. இப்ப இதே வந்து ஒரு அயன் நீங்க போதுன்னு வச்சீங்க, அதுல வந்து ஹீட்டை வச்சு ஏதாவது பண்ணலாம்.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே. ஓகே சார்.
ரோட்ல வந்து அயன் வந்து போகும்போது அதுல வந்து வர்ற ஹீட்டை வச்சு பண்ணலாம். பட் இது வந்து மேட் அப் ஆஃப் டயர், ரப்பர்.
ஓகே, ஓகே சார், ஓகே.
இது வந்து பண்ண முடியாது.
ஓகே சார், தேங்க் யூ சார், தேங்க் யூ.
நியர் ஃபியூச்சர் டெக்னாலஜி டெவலப்மென்ட்ல வந்தாலும் வரலாம்.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே.
Okay sir, right, thank you.
Thank you.
Further to the question sir, அது வந்து ஹைவேஸ்ல இந்த மாதிரி போடுறதுனால ஆல்ரெடி whatever we are spending on the buses or cars, அதை தான் வந்து we are going to convert, then the efficiency will be very very less. நீங்க சொல்றது அந்த டயரை மூவ் பண்றதுக்கு we have to spend some energy, அந்த எனர்ஜியை திருப்பியும் கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணி நீங்க பண்றது வந்து it is a waste. அது வந்து கமிட் பண்றதுக்கு மட்டும் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டோம்னா மேக்ஸிமம் எஃபிஷியன்சில ஓடும். Thank you very much for that.
Thank you sir, thank you.
Okay, right. Okay, I think there will not be because we are running out of time also. I think we can conclude. And before concluding, I go to I will thank Mr. Ravichandra Babu Excellent presentation, sir. Personally, I am just express my congratulations to you, because it was a neatly prepared. In spite of the time given to you, I think I have given only 4 days. Just I have fixed you just 4 days in advance, but you have in a very neat way you have prepared the presentation, and the flow of presentation was also to the point. It has covered the theme. You have made justice to the theme, sir. I think to summarize, our Dr. Ravichandra Babu has started with the existing very good ice breaking he has done. He has just quoted the Corona period, how engineers have helped to overcome the problem of Corona, starting from all the PPEs, how we are going to mass produce the vaccines, how the engineers' role are in combating the Corona. He started with that. And he has explained about the engineers and the scientists also, where engineers are creating the different world. Scientists will be studying the nature in the world. So it was a very good definition. It is a new thing to me. And engineers will be always looking for solution on the need-based, environmental based, friendly, and to optimize the cost also. That was a good point. And he has explained about the wave of innovations. And he has explained about the pillars of sustainable development like economy, society, and environment. He has briefly gone through the 17 global goals of sustainable development also. And he has touched upon the energy area, coal, oil, and gas reserves, where because that is going to be the sustainable role in the development of the globe. It was a shocking news that they are going to deplete within 200 years. Particularly, coal will last for 200 years, and oil and other things will be lasting only for 50 to 70 years. That's a shocking news. Now the globe or the world has to stand up to just face the problem, and you'll be able to find alternatives. That's what the stress he has made. And yes, deliberated on the electrical generation scenario also in India, and how much it is shared between the people. And he has compared the per capita consumption of energy consumption of states, I mean all over the world, and particularly states he has compared with India. Again, it was shocking, because when USA is having 11,730, India is having only 1,208. It is around 10 times, around 9 times it is more. So it is again, it is a concern area. And it has gone to the CO2 green gas emission and how it affects all the people, how India has combated that particular problem with the LED bulbs. That also was touched upon. And he has mentioned about the probability temperature rise of up to 6 degrees. It is also a matter of concern for the future people. It is a 6 degrees increase in the temperature is really a concern. And again, as Mr. Murugesan Pandian sir has asked, he has told around 21% TNT losses there in India. It is really very big figure. When compared to USA, it is 7%. I think, as he said, conservative view he has taken. It is going to come down. I think the curve has started come down. And he has mentioned about the engineering, starting from agri, so many engineering branches he has given. When we have studied, it was only 4 branches: civil, mechanical, electrical, and electronics. That was the 4. Now he has given around 60 branches, starting from agri, chemical, transport, material, manufacturing, mechatronics, and so on. Medical, even medical also, engineering is there. And he has explained about the pillars of sustainability as individuals, technology, decision making, and business. Like that, he has explained. Finally, he has touched upon the history of the World Engineering Day and the importance of engineers in developing the globe. and ultimately he has given a quotation that collective effort only will yield for this sustainable development, and people should think of in the perspective of national good, and collectively then only it will go for global goods. So that is the idea to be inseminated to all the people, all the engineers around the globe. And subsequently he has given a presentation on NPTI Shivapuri also. It actually what is that, bribed me to attend a program at least for 1 or 2 days. I will just book a training in that Shivapuri, sir, and hope to meet you soon in Shivapuri. I think all the people also would be, because the infrastructure and whatever you have presented is very, very good. I think it cannot be compared with any other NPT.
World class.
Yeah, I can say that, we can say that it is a world class. Okay, sir, we will have a visit. I think most of the attendees also will visit that.
In addition to that, we are having Wi-Fi campus, Wi-Fi free.
Oh, fine.
Camera is available.
Okay, good.
It's a long zoom camera.
Oh,
and all the classroom, total campus is Wi-Fi free.
Oh.
The internet lease line, dedicated internet lease line.
Okay, good. So it is very good presentation on that NPTI Shivapuri also, sir. And for all this presentation, I thank Dr. Ravichandra Babu, sir, once again, for he has consented to present on this World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development. Thank you very much, sir. And we look forward to have him on this particular fora again and again in the subsequent months. Thank you very much. And I thank all the participants who have joined and participated in this, particularly those who are visiting regularly, like our Kumar sir and Balakrishnan sir also. I think Murugesh Pandian sir also now recently has started joining continuously. And thank you very much for all the people who have joined today. So the meeting is formally ended, and good night to all. Now you can leave. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for giving up.
Okay, thank you all.
Now, those who want to informally talk to somebody, you can talk among the participants or to the faculty. For 5 minutes, it will be still it will be elongated. The program is formally closed. Suppose if you want to have some conversation, even in physical meeting, even after the meeting, some people will be having conversation with the faculty. Suppose if at all any people wants to have some word with the faculty or any other people attendees, you can have. Okay, sir, Ravichandra Babu sir, when you are coming to Neyveli?
Next week, sir.
Okay. So one thing na kandipa vandu paarenga.
Kandipa varu sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for giving opportunity.
Right. Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Highways Vilupurathula endha office sir? Vilupurathula office ah?
Ama sir, Vilupurathula office sir.
Okay, good.
Okay, sir. I have already discussed with the PhD one person. He is on the road. Suppose during construction, small type of roller will match with the riding surface on the road. If a tire is moving, the roller will rotate it and it convert into electricity.
நான் வாட்ஸ்அப்ல பாத்திருக்கேன், அந்த ஒரு வீடியோ கூட போட்டிருந்தாங்க. அத ஒரு ஸ்ப்ரிங் லோட் போட்டு அந்த ஸ்ப்ரிங் எப்பப்ப லோட் ஆகுதோ எப்பப்ப பிரேக் கிராஸ் ஆகுதோ.
எவ்வளவு எலக்ட்ரிசிட்டி சார் வருது?
Sir, it is on research, sir. Just I will guide it just.
Okay. Right.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Right, sir. Thanks, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.